So our 6-land wonder got there as we drew nothing but gas and luck sacked our opponent. And he chose to play last, so we will not mulligan because this one curves perfectly and has decent mana. We're going to go Mountain so we can shock a guy if he plays a cheap guy, into a turn 2 Goblin Piker, into a turn 3 3/3 First Striker. And guys like that are pretty tough to deal with. So, ooh, and we have a Sorin's Thirst too. Well, don't mind if I do. If he has a Child of Night, we're probably going to use the shock on it so that we can get our mage through. Well, let's think here. If we use the... No, we're going to use the Sorin's Thirst, and the reason is that next turn, assuming we draw a 4th land, then we can shock... And, oh, but it would have to be a mountain? That's tough. But I think leaving up Sorin's Thirst later is going to be tougher. It's basically the same as shock in this matchup. So we'll just get rid of his guy in battle. And if for some reason we do draw a second mountain, it will work out the way that I mentioned it, so that's good. Hopefully he just doesn't have a 3-drop. Onyx Mage, okay. Oh, that's right, we can EOT shock this and then get the Blood Ogre down. And as greedy as that is, because this is not a great target for that, I think the Blood Ogre is just going to be nuts against him, so let's get in there. I mean, he knows I have a Bloodthirst guy now because I'm going crazy trying to get a point in. He does have Incinerate for this guy, but I'm hoping that he doesn't have it. This hand's full of blue cards he can't cast. Alright, so he had it. Now we're down to just a few cards against his. But we got a guy, and he missed the land drop, so hopefully we get to just get him. Hopefully he doesn't have Reassembling Skeleton in his hand, because that would be just all sorts of bad for us. Shock, okay. Back to the Stone Age. Creature? Okay. Well, we've got absolutely nothing going on. We do have an Incinerate if he plays something particularly nasty, but hopefully it's not too bad. Drifting Shade, okay. So I could Incinerate that now. I could play Call... I think I'm going to take a hit off of it and then the next turn play Call to the Grave if he plays a follow-up creature. Oh, or I could just play my own. I'm actually going to play nothing and do what I'm just going to make him think that I have nothing. Because it's not a zombie. Hopefully he won't play another zombie. The only problem is if he funnels a bunch of mana into it, then... Okay. So he's definitely got another play, which is good for us because he didn't spend all his mana. Minotaurs? Ooh, Vampire Outcasts. Yeah, that's pretty good for him, but we can just play Call of the Grave and get him. Ooh, and we drew a Plains. Pretty good. We'll leave up a mountain because we've shown him shock. So now he's going to lose his Shade, and then he has to keep playing creatures or lose his 4/4 as well. And yeah, him gaining 4 life this turn is pretty good tempo, like a pretty good tempo gain for him. But I think we're willing to do that because it's going to cost him cards and cost him turns, and we don't have a whole lot of action in our hand either. Like if we had a lot of stuff that this Call to the Grave was bottlenecking for us, then it would be different. But we don't really have a whole... Grave Titan? Oh, no. Ugh. Alright. Well, the good news is it's non-zombie, so he actually can't sacrifice the tokens to keep Grave Titan around. So I think what we're going to do here is just pacify that bad boy so he can't get us too far ahead. or too far behind. Grave Titan. Yeah, okay. Definitely need to reevaluate here. And this turn, he either loses the Grave Titan or he loses the Outcast. Okay, got rid of the Grave Titan. But we take 8 here. These zombies actually really are going to get us because they keep the Call to the Grave around. So we're going to incinerate one. They keep the Call to the Grave around because the battlefield will never be empty. And then we have to sacrifice. So that's kind of a shame. And he has Reassembling Skeleton in his deck. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I over-leveraged myself here. Ooh, Vengeful Pharaoh. Sweet. A non-zombie. It's exactly what we needed. Jacob Simmons does not play fair. Sorry. He will rip his one out every single time. And that's just the way it is. So unless he has a way to bounce Call to the Grave, we're getting his... Does he have Leak? Okay, I will not pay 3 and get to draw it again. He sure showed me. Maybe he has Fireball and he's just trying to get the last few points in. That could be legitimate. He's definitely splashing red for more than just Incinerate. Oh, he had Shock as well. So if he attacks, then I get rid of the zombie and the Call to the Grave at the end of turn. But he still can't play anything this turn, and then I draw and recast the Pharaoh. That seems pretty good. Okay. Instead, he's going to do nothing and kind of keep the board at parity. I think I'm fine with that. He can't really play out any additional creatures until he can play 2. Maybe he's just killing time until he draws his Reassembling Skeleton. Or, you know, there's Divination, so... He's got something going on. I already got rid of Grave Titan. I hope he doesn't have anything worse than that. Yeah, I'll just build up until I can do something. It's been a pretty good game. Hopefully he doesn't Mind Rot me. I just have a feeling he has a Mind Rot. It's a common and it's pretty good in a grindy deck like this, so... What could I draw that would be good? Reassembling Skeleton would let me play out the Drifting Shade. Yeah, I think Reassembling Skeleton is my best draw. And it's also his best draw. Because with the Skeleton I can... what's he got? Fireball? Yep, this looks like Fireball. Rune-Scarred Demon. Okay. So he's casting that as Diabolic Tutor. Because on his next turn it's just going to die. Etc, etc. He's going to get the Reassembling Skeleton, I would imagine. That doesn't actually get him out of the woods because I can still replay the Vengeful Pharaoh as soon as he attacks with anything. But I guess he could feed the skeleton to the Call to the Grave enough turns to build up an army that I can't match. And then maybe that would do something for him. Not really sure what his plan is here. Maybe it's just to bounce this somehow and then kill me. Zombie? Hey, a zombie. Okay. Yeah, I run good. Why do you ask? So, I can play the Gravedigger and rebuy the Vengeful Pharaoh. But I can't cast it this turn. Or I could rebuy the Blood Ogre and just play it as a 2/2. He's gonna go get Reassembling Skeleton. So I think what I want, what he got was Reassembling Skeleton. So I think I just want the Vengeful Pharaoh in play. But wait a minute. If I get that, then he's just got you can just chump it every turn. Oh no, he can't. It comes into play tap. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think this play is fantastic or anything, because like Vengeful Pharaoh has value just being in the graveyard. So there is that. But he's gonna lose his Runescarred Demon to Call to the Grave, which is pretty sweet. As it turns out, I do wish to use the ability.